Click the links to my channel here over at SubScribe. If you're an SJW, please don't watch the video. If you got sub, just go ahead and unsub. You're just not going to enjoy it. There's just no need to have an argument in these long, passive-aggressive comments. It's just like these 300-pound basement-dwelling Coomer consumer soy boys leave these long comments. It actually bothers me. I'll admit it, because I can't respond in the way that they deserve. I can't use those Melanie Mac words. So, I was looking at this guy's bookshelf, all the crap on it. And I said, I hate this stuff that all these people, these Coomer consumer have. And I look up my own bookshelf. I'm like, the only excuse I can say is that I didn't buy the toys. So maybe I should start giving them away. Anyway, so Kotaku video game propagandists seem very upset. And, if I did live streams, I just get a green screen with all that crap in the background. So to catch you up to date, in this area of the culture war, there are video games, then there's this industry around the games, sites like Kotaku, that is run by literal ugly communists. And, I look at Kotaku, I don't know, websites come and go. I don't know if Kotaku is going to be around forever. And I do have to admit, though, I'm sure she's not listening, is that tatted girl who's kind of involved in this, Alyssa Mercante, is an exception to the rule. I'm not going to be petty because she obviously lifts weights and is in great shape. I have a soft spot because I had a girlfriend who was very muscular like that, who was really into outdoor activity and lifting. She looked like $1 million. So she's definitely the exception. The only thing I say is I don't like the tattoos that are not connected in a theme. They're all just like random pop culture stuff. I hate that kind of thing. I want things connected. So I will say that the guys involved in there's this one guy mentioned, either this or Bounding into Comics or something, who's just this whiny soy boy. They all look like, they all have a certain look about them. And then there's this other industry, the political commissar branch, the localizers. What they do is they take Japanese stuff, usually, and they make it woke, gay, and they race swap the best characters. Am I saying the best characters are blonde-haired, blue-eyed? Yes, obviously. Maybe you're not familiar with this channel. An example of this company is Sweet Baby, which has the Epstein logo for some reason. But it's just one of many of these kind of companies. Who's those chicks like in 2015 when Gamergate kicked off? Anita Sarkeesian and Zoe Quinn were some of the people involved. And I think Anita Sarkeesian, I bet you she probably made $1 million doing whatever she was doing, whining about feminist frequency, and which I guess just shut down. I think she made a lot of money just kind of being a grifter, but they kind of got out of it too soon. That was kind of the first recent wave, and now there's these localizers, and if they had stuck around long enough, they could have tried to get in on that money. So games are bought by men, but female communists take them and make them lame and just lame. And the white pill is the weaponized autism of the gamer nerd. They're able to fight back a little bit better than the average spurg, and they can vote with their pocketbook, which is the most power you have. And even sites like Kotaku, if you have to go there, you can just go there using archives or a Brave browser, and blocks their ads and whatnot. And with a lot of these websites, like the Mary Sue, I'm always archiving that. Just like every day, I'll spend 5 minutes archiving some of these sites just to have a little fun with it, so you don't get diluted with these deluged. What's what I'm trying to say? Flooded. What's diluted? It's whatever. Flooded with these pop-up ads. And more importantly, get online and crap all over these black girl gamer types. I think this is another one of those kind of companies. So what happened was people started to notice these woke globalist themes and people associated with them in small print at the end of the games. It's like, you'd think you'd be proud of being associated with these games. For some weird reason, they're not. So they created forums like Sweet Baby Detected, so the buyers wouldn't accidentally buy these games, because diversity and feminism is cancer. And the response was similar to when Myers, Diversity in Comics, would sit in his Kia, and I always thought that was a cool car. I looked at the Honda Element, I almost got one of those. I thought it was so neat. And talked about the lame modern comics. In both cases, the globalists in the industry lost their minds and had a emotional response. And part of it is the left wing has got greater rates of mental illness. That's not me being a jerk. They're not shy about telling you all the things wrong with their brains, all the kind of disorders they have or they think they have. I don't know if any of it's real. And the drugs they take from big pharma because they trust drug companies, the media, and the government for some wacky reason. This new left wing is just unrecognizable. How far they've changed in like, I don't know, 60 years to just being corporate shills, corporate useful idiots. So Comicsgate was kind of an eye-opening experience for me to see how sick and unbalanced a larger percentage of these left-wing people really are, like dangerously unbalanced. If you were around in 2015, 2016, when Myers was having his interactions with some of these people, they were, they were dangerous. Like they're like some of the stuff should have been calling the FBI for. It was like they were adults in name only. The generations of participation trophy kids who were throwing tantrums when things didn't go. Like Mark Wade's a good example, someone who's just not playing with a full deck. Where a lot of these people, they didn't get married and have kids at 18, which like we need to bring that back because that settles people down really quickly, like our grandparents did. And they just kept doing childish things like being obsessed with video games, movies, and pop culture. And I mean, you probably get examples of the chicks who write for the Mary Sue or any one of these kind of pop culture magazines. It's like so many people in the West now, putting it lightly, it's not a good sign to see 28-year-old adults who kind of still think of themselves as teenagers. In earlier generations, this wasn't possible because you were just too busy taking care of 6 kids, and your social time was talking and visiting with your family or your neighbors. There just was like these digital distractions. Like it's kind of a video for Odyssey because there's something much darker beneath the surface. There's this other stuff going on with this displacement behavior to get people focused on these parasocial relationships with their screens, which, theoretically could be just an AI, the whole thing, instead of IRL relationships. Because IRL, small local networks, massively parallel networks, they can't control that. It's like IRL, face-to-face, talking to friends and family is the ultimate decentralized network. They don't want that. They want you on a handful of social media companies. And actually, I'm going to do a video on Twitter for Odyssey and BitChute, because it turns out that it seems like that Elon Musk buying Twitter was an op the whole time, and there were people who were saying that from the beginning. And I said, no, let's hold off, give him time. He's letting accounts back on. I guess it's another video, but I think those people were right. It does seem like Elon Musk was an op the whole time, which is disappointing. Anyway, so seeing these this stuff going on, this displacement activity, but the stuff I focused on was the response to criticism of games and movies and comics was how emotional these people got, to the point where they're doxing people, contacting family members to tattletale on them and to make threats. Because the bullshies that are pushing the globalist themes in pop culture, they know that things are in a precarious situation. People are tired of woke. To the point where even South Park is making fun of Bob Iger and Disney. So in a metastable situation, the nerd gamers might be able to cause another crash in video games. I'm safe to say 83 was before most of our time, at least being conscious of that there was a crash, which could spread. Like, what were they playing in 83? Pong type of pretty simple games, which could spread to movies. And I think, to be fair, it already is spreading to Hollywood. You're seeing a lot of movies bomb lately over the past at least 4 years, and already has spread to comics, which are only kept alive, I think, to maintain the intellectual property rights. Because ultimately, nobody needs games, and they always have old ones or alternative games. Not being able to pronounce. I want to pause the video and look up deluged or deluded. What word was I trying to say? Anyway, the left wing gets so outraged when people criticize their propaganda because that's what it is. It's their religion. Otherwise, why would they even pay attention to people like diversity in comics or Sweet Baby Detected? If they were making good stuff, the customer would buy it. And yeah, him changing his name has always bothered me. Maybe I'm a little autistic that way, but they're not buying their stuff, and they don't want to allow people to criticize them or have non-woke alternatives because obviously people will take it. Which is why it's better to not go halfway and say things like, diversity's just got to be done right, or some vagina characters are okay, which is obviously true, but don't let them know that. You just want to call all diversity and feminism, be kind of like a straw man caricature of what they think you are, just because it's funny. Call all feminism is woke cancer because it makes them cry, and that's funny. Let them think that there's this army of Hugo Boss who are finally taking the mask off because it causes them to have more of an emotional response, and they'll double down with the woke, trans, furry, otherkin nonsense. So there's some video game that just came out, and the starting lineup there was no people of the light out of like a dozen plus characters. There were no people, blonde hair, blue eyed types. It was all just aliens, robots, and non-Euros. So the thing is, if you can cause them to double down, it can cause a doom loop spiral of people getting more fed up with these stupid games. The public fighting on Twitter is good because people can see how evil and vindictive the Alyssa Mercante types are. These people don't care about comics or games. They care that you care about them. They just use them as vectors to spread the disease of Marxist propaganda. If they see a group of guys having fun, they get upset. And if it's men of European descent having fun, or even Asians now have now been. At first, I thought they were kind of joking when they said they're lumping in Asians with the Euros, but it appears that they actually are because they're not. The Asians are not on the plantation for the left wing, so they're suddenly getting sold out, which is kind of fun. The thing is, they just use it to spread propaganda. Don't let them. Simply stop buying the stuff. Get online and crap all over them. Have fun watching them get worked up over people noticing their brainwashing. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe. Should I pause the video and look up the word I was looking for? Maybe I mispronounced it so badly that no one will know it in the comments. Like, what? Deluded? Deluge? Deluge. That's like a rainfall, right? That's a heavy... What word am I looking for? Anyway, like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys all next episode.